Okay, so last thing, I'm just going to show you how to solve for matrix X here with a calculator. So to make this explanation easier, I'm going to call this matrix A here, okay, times X, call this matrix B, and then call this matrix C. So we need to solve for X here. Now the first thing we got to do is get rid of this B. So we're going to subtract matrix B on both sides. So now I'm doing this matrix minus that matrix, and I could do that right here on the calculator. Okay, so we saw that this matrix minus this matrix is that right here. So now we have this. I should have paused the video. My apologies. Okay, so now to see what matrix X is, I have to find the inverse of this matrix. So if that's matrix A times X, and we'll call this matrix D, okay, which is also right here. That would be matrix D. I have to find the inverse of matrix A and multiply it on the left-hand side of both sides of this equation. So to find the inverse of matrix A, I'm going to take matrix A, type it in my calculator, alright, so that's matrix A. Now to find the inverse, we're going to use the exponent button and raise it to the -1 power. Alright, so that right there represents the inverse of matrix A. Now I'm going to take that matrix, copy it, and then multiply it on the left-hand side of our matrix D, which was this matrix minus that matrix. Hit enter, and we get that. Nice. So now let's check our work. So now I'm going to type this left-hand side of the equation into the calculator, plugging this in for matrix X, and it should equal this. Okay, so now, again, I have this typed in here, but for matrix X, I plugged in our solution, and let's see what happens when we hit enter. We get the right side, so we did it right. So it's just like solving a regular equation, a regular linear equation. Just you can't divide matrices. When you have to get rid of a matrix here, you have to multiply by the inverse. Now, let's say, remember order matters. So let's say we had something like this, where, alright, we'll just call this matrix X would be like this here, times matrix A, which could be just like this, equals matrix B, which could be something like that. Alright, now if I had to get rid of matrix A here, then since it's on the right side of X, I would have to multiply A on the right side of both sides of the equation. Alright, so pay attention to that order. Alright, so order with matrices matters. So if it was on the right side, you gotta do right-handed multiplication, and then this would be your answer.